Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Believe in Self podcast. My name is Greg, and thanks for joining us again. So I know it's been some time since I made a video or an episode, and I just want to say everybody that's been a loyal fan and everyone that's joined the channel, thanks for sticking it out with me. So I got a little update on what I've been doing lately. So as of late, I've been kind of diving into real estate investing. So the type of real estate I'm doing is wholesaling. So there are many facets of real estate. It covers everything from wholesaling to mortgage brokers and things of that nature. So what is wholesaling? So real estate wholesaling is where you find a property and you speak to the property owner, you put it under contract, then you take that said contract for X amount and you sell it to an end buyer. So it could be another real estate investor, it could be a land developer. So by me wholesaling, I'm able to build up those cash reserves and I'm able to get into bigger deals. So some deals may require certain amounts of money down. I'm not doing the conventional route where I would go to a bank and then get a mortgage on a property for X amount of years. And that's normally the conventional route of what people usually would do. Some investors might do that as well. That's not what I'm utilizing. So the main goal for me is to wholesale a certain amount of contracts till I build up a certain amount of money to where now I can go out and I can buy a 8 unit, a 12 unit, 16, 20, 24 unit building and have enough to put down as like a down payment if I was to do seller financing or a lease option. Now the other types of real estate that you might be familiar with are buy and flips. Some you have buy and holds. You have the conventional, which you will go to a bank, you'll get a loan, and then you have to qualify for that loan. You might have an FHA loan, you may have a VA loan, might be a mortgage broker, might be a realtor. So those are all things that kind of fall under the umbrella of being a real estate investor. So during this journey, I was able to build a relationship with a private money lender. Now, a private money lender is someone who is a regular person that you may know. It could be your grandmother, your uncle, your aunt, someone who has cash reserves put in somewhere like a pension or maybe a 401k, and they're able to take a loan against it or pull from that. They're able to invest it with you, and you have a contract where you'll sign that contract stating that you'll give them X% back. So the percentage that you will give them back is usually more than what they would make if the money was just sitting there in that account. I was able to secure this private money lender just by letting them know, hey, this is what I'm doing. I'm getting into real estate investing. And they said I have X amount to lend and, I want 10% back of, whatever I lend. So that's not bad. And nowhere in the market can you get 10% back for an investment. So it'll be for X amount of months or, it could be for years. However the contract would fit. So one of the things that people do when they get into real estate is that they kind of tend to jump around. Like they want to go and they want to flip houses, or I want to buy land. I want to do this and that. And they don't have something specific that they kind of niche down into. Let's fix my mic. It's not far away. So from all the courses that I've taken and information that I got, you have to find something specifically that you want to do. So whether it's wholesaling land, you want to do foreclosures, you want to do probate, it all depends on what you want to do and how far and deep you want to dive into it. You may find a property to where you love it, you speak to the seller's down with the deal, and let's say it's a cash deal. Now you have to put it under contract. Well, how do you put it under contract? What type of contracts do you use? You have a purchase contract that has different stipulations inside the contract. So if you're buying it as is, meaning that they don't have to fix up the property, you're doing it no contingencies, saying I'll buy this house contingent that you cut down a couple of trees in the backyard, or you repair the roof, or you give me $10,000 off of the price because I need to replace the HVAC system. So the purchase agreement will have whatever you agreed upon with the seller. Now, when you jump into real estate, especially with wholesaling, that's not something that you just quit your job and you go out and do it, because it may take a while before you get your first deal. The advice that I was given through someone personally and also through the course was, don't quit your 9 to 5 and do a part-time. So after work, you let your 9 to 5 fund your 5 to 9. And when you get out of work, you can go home, you can start looking at properties, you can pull different types of lists. There are strategies that you can use, which we'll talk about in like later episodes. But there are different strategies that you can use, but it's never suggested or recommended that you go and you just quit your job and you jump right into it. Unless you have like deals already going, you already know like I can get this deal for this price and whatever the case may be, because you still have to sustain yourself. So I wouldn't suggest anybody going and quitting their job to jump right into wholesaling, because you may not get a deal for some time and then you're gonna be broke. All right, so here's like a short breakdown of what a wholesale deal would look like. So I would pull a list, let's say for instance, tired landlords. So I would call them up and say, hey, my name is Greg. I'm a local investor in the area, and I was calling to see if you would take a cash offer on your property. And depending on the condition of the house, they could be tired of the tenants. The tenants could have been there a while. They could be an out-of-state investor. They may say yes. So I'll say, okay, can you tell me a little bit about the property? So they'll tell me it's a 3-bedroom, 1 bath. The tenant's been there for 10 years. It needs a new roof. It needs a new HVAC. It needs to update electrical, to up the code, things of that nature. So I'll say, okay, cool. So let me get back to you. I run my comps and, I'll call you back. Now, most of the time I'll run my comps before I actually call the person, just to have an idea of, what to offer them. So I usually call them back within like 20 minutes or so. And then I'll say, okay, I ran the comps and houses in that area remodeled are selling for this. A house in similar condition to your house has the same amount of bedrooms, same bathrooms, same square footage within like 1,000 square feet or whatever, sold for $180,000. Your house needs a new roof. It needs updated kitchen, updated bathroom, needs new floors, needs new HVAC. So it's going to need about $40,000 in renovation. So what I would do is I'll make them an offer for $110. They may be like, can we do $120? So all right, we could do $120. So now we put the house under contract, and now what I would have to do is now I'd have to go find a buyer. So I would find my buyers list, which I would have one already, and then I will approach them and say like, hey, I have a house over here that's 3-bedroom, 1 bath, needs a new roof, new kitchen, new bathroom, new HVAC. And now what I would do is I would add my assignment fee. So let's say the after repair value, meaning once the house is repaired, the house will be worth $220. I can say my assignment fee would be like $30,000. So I have this house under contract for $140, which would include what I would pay the seller for their house and also my assignment fee of $30,000. And they say, hey, you know what? This house is worth it. I'll buy it. So now I'll sign an agreement with them. And then they go to closing and they do all that stuff. And what happened in the paperwork and agreement to where once they close, I'll get cut a check for $40,000. I'm sorry, for $30,000. And then the seller would get a check for their home. And then the end buyer would then take over the home and title it and all the other stuff. So that's basically a gist of how wholesaling works. I don't have to go out and put anything in my name. I don't have to title anything. So I'm just basically selling the contract to an end buyer. So that's basically what wholesaling is. All right. I don't want to make the video too long. I am going to start making more videos about my real estate journey. I'm going to show you guys the process. And then eventually, I'm going to go out and take a look at some of these houses. I do invest outside of New York. And because New York is a crazy market, if something good does come up, then I'll hop on it. But other than that, I'm investing outside of New York particularly. All right, so if you love this video and you want to see more real estate investing videos, please make sure you hit that like button, you subscribe, leave me a comment down below and ask me some questions about real estate, the different types of real estate, deals that I've done, things like that. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. See you next episode. Peace.